Let's bring in South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Congresswoman, good morning to you. I want to start with the mall shooting that happened in your home state. 14 people were injured, and the judge sets the bail at $25,000 for one of the suspects. He's allowed to go to work with an ankle monitor. What do you make of that?
Well, it's crazy. 14 people, as you said, were shot or injured, and the perpetrator is going to go to work with an ankle bracelet and only have a $25,000 bond. And based on what you said earlier, too, they're only being charged with unlawfully carrying a firearm. Let me guess. A criminal decided not to apply for a concealed carry permit. I'm shocked. This is insanity. We all know that crime has gotten worse here in the United States over the last 2 years, and Democrats want to defund the police, and that is clearly not the answer here.
I guess what concerns me most about this, Congresswoman, is, look, Carly and I do these stories in New York, in California all the time about bail not being high enough, bail reform. This is a law and order state. This is South Carolina. If this is happening there, this has to be happening almost in every town and city in our country.
Right. If it's happening in South Carolina, it's happening everywhere across the nation. And it's really scary. You've seen mayors that now are coming and begging to the federal government for more funding because they have defunded the police or asked or had their states fund their security for their cities and communities less because of the movement over the last 2 years. And quite frankly, you're seeing violence increase everywhere across the country. And I'm very lucky. I have great hardcore sheriffs and chiefs of police in the Low Country. We don't have as much of a problem with that. But what you're seeing is happening all around the nation. It's really scary that this person that shot or injured 14 people is now just gonna take a walk and go to work the next day like no big deal. I wonder what his coworkers are thinking.
Yeah, and you know, when you look at polls, Congresswoman, one of the issues that Americans are most concerned about is crime. So if Republicans take back control of the House and Senate, what can be done on this issue to make America a safer place?
Well, certainly incentivizing blue states and blue cities to fund their police at the state level. We need to ensure that our law enforcement, I mean, they have one of the most dangerous jobs in the nation right now, that those states are giving those folks pay raises. They're putting their lives on the line, making sure that we invest in community policing and that our communities, our police are going into communities, that they're not afraid, and that they meet children in the community, go to schools, and show that they're there to keep all these communities safe. And number two, we need to ensure that when you break the law, you are held accountable for doing that. It's shocking to see this happening in our backyard here in South Carolina.
Finally, Congresswoman, a New York Post op-ed pointing out the hypocrisy of Democrats pushing fear over COVID, but not over, as Carly mentioned, rising crime rates. Quote, the progressives who run New York like to insist that their failures in crime, poverty, education, and housing policy were foisted upon them. So instead of confronting real problems, they embrace absurd, pointless measures like mask mandates. Congressman, besides parental rights, is this argument the key point that Republicans need to make come midterms?
Well, Republicans need to be very substantive on the issues. What would we do? Would we allow Title 42 to expire? No, we would not. Would we ask for COVID funding while we're saying our COVID-19 at the border is not a risk? No, we would not. But ensuring that we're making sure that we're tackling inflation, taxes, and spending. All of those things are adding to our supply chain woes, that we are going to address immigration. And how are we going to do that? I know that in oversight last year, I had one hearing on the border last year, and it was about the northern border, where we have less than 10,000 apprehensions every year. So we're going to have a hearing on the border. Are we going to fix our border issues? What are we going to do about Hunter Biden's laptop? We really need to focus on what our future is going to look like and how we're going to turn our country around for the better, how people will have better jobs and better pay, and that we're going to be very supportive of every community across the country. And that's what I'm running on, and I hope that every Republican is too.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And also, Todd, as it relates to crime, that headline, 23 known or suspected terrorists caught on the southern border in 2021. And you have to wonder if that's going to move the needle at all for the Biden administration to act on this issue.
Think of all the hard work people did to try to keep our country safe. That doesn't help.